All right, guys, this is Crazy Kev here, and I'm here with Kris Moutinho. Chris, how we doing?
Doing great, bro. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, no worries at all. And Chris, man, you just had a fight not too long ago, and you got another victory. Talk to us a little bit more about that big victory and more about your performance.
Yeah, man. It's good to be on a winning track. You know what I mean. Four fights in the year and a half after coming off the years they had before that. You know, and then I couldn't really get any wins going, and got kicked out of the place where I thought I would be for the rest of my career. You know what I mean. So yeah, it's good. It's good. Camp wasn't the best, so to be able to still get a win going and still do what I needed to do out there and means a lot.
Yeah, no, definitely. And with you having a win streak now, do you think you deserve to be back in the UFC now?
Yeah, for sure. I think four finishes again. People can say what they want about the records of the guys or whatever. There's a couple guys with not the greatest records. Other guys in there that I fought were 8-4 now. The other one was 8-2. So again, decent records, decent guys that I fought, and I did what I was supposed to do. You know what I mean? I put them away pretty convincingly, all of them before the end bell, and pretty exciting fights to boot. So I think I've done enough to get a second shot and go out there and test myself against the best guys in the world.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And when it comes to the UFC, do you happen to have like any guys that you'd like to maybe make your second run against at the moment?
Whoever they put me against, man, that's how it's always been. It's like again, I'm not out here picking fights. Whoever the names my manager gives me, are the fights we take. So again, as long as I'm not being a fat ass and I can get the weight down and all that stuff, I'm ready to go and against whoever they put in front of me, however how good they are, how dangerous they are, I'm ready to go test myself and show the world that I'm one of the best.
Yeah. Now, obviously, you've had fights with camps and obviously some short notice ones too. I mean, which one do you kind of prefer? Do you like to kind of go in there and kind of have that short notice vibe where you don't really have to worry about as much, or do you like to have those full?
It depends. It depends on how I am. I like when there's not a lot of pressure. So the short notice fights are always cool too. Like you know what I mean. I'm always in shape. I'm never out of shape. I'm always in fight shape and I'm ready to go. But yeah, so the pressure factor, no, knows there is none. You know what I mean. Those feel good. But I like to have a full camp and dial everything in and dot my dot my I's, cross my T's. You know what I mean. And go out there and show people the true me. Those are the best ones. Those are the best ones, and those are the best ones for me.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And when it comes to Chito Vera, he was talking a little bit about you, but then he ended up breaking the significant strike record against OMalley. Talk to us a little bit more about Chito Vera.
Yeah, man. It was just it shows what karma is. You know what I mean? It shows he was taught when I was fighting, when I fought him and I got my ass kicked. Whatever, great, whatever, cool, good for Sean. But he was talking. I remember I saw one interview where he was like, "Oh, dude, fighting some bum with green hair and no wonder he can punch the guy 300 times." And then he goes and fights and he looks exactly the same way that I fought him. You know what I mean? He just got his ass kicked for 3 rounds. He landed a couple good shots and whatever, but he got his ass kicked for 3 rounds. So it is what it is. You know what I mean? It's just funny that way. If I get to fight a guy that get to fight him someday, it would be cool.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And when you fight a guy like Sean, like, did you happen to think he would ever become the champion one day?
Before the fight, no. But after you fight him, you realize that the guy's really good. He's really good. He's hard to chase down. He's hard to get a read on when he's striking. He's very good, very talented guy, and again, happy for the dude getting his belt and doing what he's doing in the sport. Again,
Yeah.
would love to fight him again someday. But yeah, happy for him.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And a little bit ago, there was a little bit of mentions on like social media about like a potential like tournament to get back in the UFC with like Vince Morales, you, and a couple others. Talk us a little bit more about that and what you kind of think about it.
Either way, again, if I fight those guys, I fight those guys. You know what I mean? It doesn't really. It's not like a thing I really even think about it, man. I'm not here calling for anybody or picking anybody. It's whoever I end up fighting is who I end up fighting. And again, I expect if I don't get the call up, I'm gonna have to fight some of these guys anyway. You know what I mean? They're some of the best guys outside the UFC, so again, I'm not really worrying about it or worrying about a turn. I don't think it matters either way. Again, they're gonna pick us if they're gonna pick us, and take us if they're gonna take us. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter who we're really fighting. I know I see guys fighting tomato cans their whole career and get to the UFC, so it doesn't really matter to me. So if I fight one of those killers, sorry, my cat's going nuts right now.
Oh,
If I
good.
fight one of those guys, I fight one of those guys, and I'll be ready. I'll be ready when that time comes.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt about it. And when it comes to like fighting and stuff, did you happen to have like any sort of street fights or anything like that when you were first, just getting started and stuff?
I've actually never been in a street fight. I've never been in a fight outside the cage. I've never been really that person. I'm not. I'm not. I'm very unconfrontational, as they say, man. I don't like confrontation. I don't like issues. I don't like situations. If one arises, I will handle myself. But again, I avoid those things. I don't go out and get drunk and start shit. And you know what I mean. So it's like if I'm out drinking, I want to have some fun. So never been in a street fight. I found wrestling when I was young, and this is the same kind of vibe to me. This I like this because this is a sport, because this is a game in a sense, man. And I like the violence of it.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt about it. And when it comes to you mentioned every so often when you go out and drink and stuff, what's maybe some of your go-to drinks you like to have?
I don't. To be honest with you, bro, I like the feeling of being drunk every once. I get drunk maybe once a year. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I like the feeling once a year. I'm old now, bro. I'm over 30. This shit lasts like 3 days when I get a hangover. You know what I mean? But I don't like the taste of alcohol either. So if I'm gonna drink, it's like something super fruity, like fucking. I like fucking like a margarita or something. Other than that, I ain't drinking shit that tastes good to me. Nothing tastes good.
there you go, there you go. So you mentioned you only like get drunk like once a year. I mean, what's like kind of like the occasion for getting drunk?
I don't know. It happens. It just happens randomly, man. Like I'll pick with one day, once or twice a year, where I'm like, it's like a family party or something like that, and then I'll let go, and then after that, I'm like, after I get through that hangover, I'm like, yeah, I'm good for a while, and then I just lose all the urge for it for a while, and then it comes back.
That's definitely funny. And when it comes to just outside the cage, I mean, you mentioned that you're not like confrontational, you like kind of keep to yourself. But what's maybe some other stuff that you like to do outside the cage?
Uh, I have a lot of bad habits now. You know what I mean? I found like poker. I started playing a lot of poker and shit like that. Like I play. I have like a lot like phone games. I play like freaking. I got into chess a couple of years back, and now I play a lot of chess and do shit. It's like just little simple shit. Like I play poker. Basically, all I do hang out with my girl, hang out with my family, hang out with my a couple the two friends I have, and then I just train. You know what I mean? So those are the only really things I do.
Yeah, yeah, no, fair enough. And when it comes to chess, I mean, do you happen to play anyone from your gym at all?
No, I play. Yeah, I play a couple of the other trainers at the boxing gym I teach at and stuff, and just chill. I'm not any good. Like I'm not any good at any of these things I play. I'm just like one of those like habitual like freaking offenders where I just freaking like just get addicted to things and I just freaking I can't help myself. You know what I mean? I play it nonstop, and even if I suck at it, like the same thing. I don't win money when I play poker. I lose 90% of the times I do shit. But these are just I can't get myself out. I'm addicted to some of these things for no reason.
Fair enough, fair enough. And you mentioned a little bit in our previous interview that you said you're done with it, but what was maybe some of your favorite colors that you dyed your hair?
I did like a really vibrant pink color. One of my fights in CFFC. That one I liked a lot. That one was really nice. And then I did like the first time I really dyed my. It was like this like teal blue color. I liked too. But again, gets to stay in the memories. Gets to stay in the past. I get to watch those fights every once in a while, and that's it. That's where it'll stay. This is the new me, and it's suiting me. I think these are the best fights I've had. This is the best version of me that's ever been. It's the real me. It's the true me. It's the one that was born. Uh, was here from the beginning, and he had to come back out and show everybody what's up.
Yeah, Yeah, no, definitely. And another thing in our previous interview, you mentioned your mental state has just gotten so much better. Which is why you've been on such a winning path. But when it comes to like the gym and stuff, what do you think you've done differently to maybe improve maybe your striking or your ground game to also incorporate more of their getting those wins?
Just believing in myself a lot more. Again, I work with a couple different people. You know, I mean, my coach, one of my coaches, Maha, he's this little crazy Russian dude from Dagestan, and he's a cool dude. But it's just understanding and being able to understand the material a lot better, which was always a hard part for me. Is the understanding what I was being taught and the concepts behind what I was being taught. You know what I mean? I was kind of just doing stuff and getting by on just having some natural ability. But again, now I can actually understand the material. I can teach the material. I can learn things from people and conceptualize what they're trying to actually show me. Like it's not just you punch this and I punch that. You know what I mean? It's there's knowledge behind it. There's theory behind it. There's everything behind it that helps you actually do this stuff properly. And that's been the biggest thing is just being a better student over the last couple of years and being able to to truly understand the material.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. I definitely think that's a solid message. And another thing I was curious about as well too. In our last interview, you mentioned a little bit about you're in a toxic relationship, and now that you're out of it, things have been getting a little bit better. And I've also had other fighters say like, if you get like your heart broken or just like get out of a bad relationship, they have like a better mind state and they're able to do things better. Do you think that's also helped you as well too, kind of get back on the right path?
Yeah, it's just the timing wasn't great when I was doing this before. You know what I mean? It became the sport was also becoming a chore. It was becoming something that I was forcing myself to love, opposed to loving it. You know what I mean? Being in that relationship and then also falling out of love for the sport that gave me my whole life. That's been my whole life. You know what I mean? Was hard to deal. And now I'm with. I just everything started to click. I met this my girlfriend now. My my rock, the everything in my soul. You know what I mean? And it helped me find that I can still do this stuff that I love. I still love this stuff deep down, and I think her helping me and keeping me on track mentally and physically has just been everything to me. You know what I mean? The sport is truly the the only thing that's ever really made sense to my life. You know what I mean? That's really ever been me. Again, only time I'm truly free is when I get to go out there and get punched in the head and punch people in the head. So yeah, I mean, it definitely has helped not being in a situation where this stuff is burdening
Yeah.
uh, my relationship. You know.
Yeah, no, that definitely makes sense. And talk us a little bit more. How did you actually meet your current girlfriend?
I met her through a friend, and then again after my previous relationship, it was you know what I mean. It was after my previous relationship ended, we got to talking, and then from there on, we just clicked, and it's been we've been inseparable ever since. She's my world, she's my rock, and hopefully someday I get to marry that girl. You know what I
That'd
mean?
be awesome. No, that would definitely be awesome, man. And another thing I was curious about too, man. I mean, what kind of music do you like to listen to, man? What are the vibes like, when you're training and just like outside the gym too?
I'm a little bit everywhere, man. I like rap music. I like indie folk music, pop like punk music, all that kind of stuff, man. I'm a little all over the place. None of my the sadder the music, usually the better, man. My vibe, a little sad boy music.
There you go. There you go. So, do you like going to concerts or anything like that at all?
I've only been to a few. Never. It's not really been my. I'm like a super homebody introvert guy. So it's like it's cool. I've been to like two or three big concerts and they were fun. But I'm more of like I'll listen to it in the car or some shit kind of music guy. I don't really like to go to concerts too much, but I will if other people want to.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And obviously you've had a lot of fights now in your career. With all the different fights that you've had, which fight do you think has maybe made you the most nervous?
The most nervous. It's always the fights that shouldn't really that make me the most nervous. It's the fights that I'm supposed to get my ass kicked are the ones I feel the most calm in for some reason. It's always like the fights where I'm fighting a guy who's I'm supposed to go out there and beat up. The most I've ever been was probably the Goto Canetti fight. And
Okay.
I'm not saying anything. Guido's a great dude, talented fighter, but won plenty of fights in the UFC. So I'm not saying anything, but it was like fights where I'm like in my head I'm supposed to win, and yeah, that was one of them. And then there was another couple in my amateur in my beginning of my pro career. Like my first two losses, for some reason I was so nervous those fights, and there were two guys that I probably should have beat up, and they both guillotined me in the first round, so it didn't end up well for me.
Yeah, no, that definitely makes sense. And yeah, when it just comes to like getting ready for your fights and stuff, when you're in the back, I mean, what do you typically like to do before you get ready to make the walk?
I'm like a in the back. I'm like a little crackhead, dude. Like I can't sit still. I'm shaking. I'm like, regardless, even if I'm not nervous or nervous, my body just can't sit still. So I'm just moving around the whole time. I'm just warm. Like literally from the time I walk in that place, I'm just like pacing back and forth and jumping up and down, and doing random shit, shadow boxing, stretching, something. I can't get like you watch other guys falling asleep in the back and taking naps, and it's never been me. I'm just shit, just moving the entire time, so can't help it.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And when you were fighting O'Malley, I believe in the second round, you like Tim Welsh, I believe he said something to you and you flipped him off. Do you remember what he said to you?
No, he was that whole week. He was talking a lot. He was talking a lot of shit to me. He was just saying I wasn't ready. He was like, I think he said like I told you what was gonna happen. And I was like, had to give him one of those just to let him know I don't give a fuck. But yeah, man, that was a cool experience, fun experience. At the end of the day, looking back, again, it is what it is. Yeah, nothing but love for everybody, you know.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And obviously, there's a lot of ways you can get in the UFC now with the Ultimate Fighter, Contender Series, and even short notice. I mean, if you had to pick, I mean, out of those three, I mean, which one would you kind of want to get on?
For short notice would be I'll take a short notice fight over all those other things. I feel like I've done enough to not have to do those other things. You know what I mean? Have to go to the Contender Series or have to go to the Ultimate Fighter. I don't feel like I got a fair shake in the first place. You know what I mean? I've been screwed over a couple times in the last couple years from those kind of things. Got brought out to the Ultimate Fighter show. I was out there for a week and a half, and then told I was an alternate. Like the day we were supposed to go to the casting, like the taping stuff. They told me I was an alternate. I was like, had to go home and stuff. So it was like, I just don't really want to go back into any of those kind of situations. I
Right.
have a job. I have a day job. I make. I'm not gonna fuck up my money to go on and do some stupid show that who knows if I even get a shot anyway. If you're gonna give me a shot, you're gonna give me a shot. If not, this I'll go out and do it. Like I've said it multiple times, it's not the most important thing in my life anymore. You know what I mean? I want to have a family. I want to have these things, and I'm not gonna screw up chances to make money for my family, make money for the things that I want to do in my life to for not sure things. You know what I mean? You wanna give me a fight? Cool, I'll take a fight and I'll go out there and I'll put it on the line and show you why I am who I am and why people like to watch me fight. People like to watch me fight because I do that. I really do put it all out there. I leave everything, not really worrying about winning and losing. I go out there and I whether I'm winning a fight, I'm gonna throw it out there like put my toe in the sand and swing until one of us is dead. And I'm always looking to finish. So again, uh, give me a short notice fight. Let me show you what I can really do, and let's get back to the UFC.
Yeah. And have you happened to like get any like kind of like talks or text messages or anything about like maybe like somebody from the UFC like they're looking out for you, like maybe like one or two more wins or anything like that?
Yeah, my manager has been throwing my name into last minute things over and over again. They just don't pick me. You know what I mean? I don't. I'm not saying the fighters don't pick me. I'm just saying like the UFC doesn't pick me. Like they don't. Again, my name is not the top priority, and I understand that. I'm not in any rush. I'm gonna sit here. My manager is just gonna keep throwing my name out there for 35ers last minute, week out, 10 weeks, 10 days out. You know what I mean? People that drop out, and one of them hopefully will take me, and if not, I'll just fight again locally in probably October.
Yeah, no, that would be awesome, and we're looking forward to it in October if that's going to be the case. And another thing too, you mentioned you have a day job as well too. I mean, what do you typically do as well too with that?
I just went back to my old job that I did before the UFC stuff. Like I quit it right like a month before I made it to the UFC, and then recently I last like 2 months I've been working back at the paint factory here in Milford, Massachusetts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Benjamin Paint Factory. So yeah, man, it's just an easy job, man. It's an easy job, good benefits. It does what it needs to do, and I'm looking to have a family in the next few years anyway. So whether I'm a UFC fighter kicking ass over there, or I'm a fucking paint worker bum from fucking Milford, Massachusetts, it don't really matter to me as long as the other things in my life are good.
Yeah, no, definitely, Chris. And yeah, like I said, we're definitely looking forward to you. And I believe there's a lot of fans that have your back. So with that being said, man, I mean, what's maybe your final message out there for the fans watching this video?
Love y'all. And follow your path, whatever that may be, and enjoy it. God bless.
Yeah, absolutely, Chris. And Chris, thank you so much for coming back on for your second time. We're looking forward to your next fight, and hopefully you get that call to the big show, man, because I definitely think you deserve it.
Thank you, brother. Have a good day.
Yeah, man, you too. Thank you again.